Alrighty, we are live. Excuse me. Hey, everybody. I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. How you doing, David? Her Ladyship, Bassman, and Basswoman. Now, give me a moment. You made it in time, Bassman. By golly. Yeah. Now there is das link. Yeah. Um, this morning I need to go after about getting close to an hour and a half, I guess. I do have swimming at 10. Yes, I do. And hardly ho, good sir. Um, yeah,
Morning.
but in the meantime, I'm pretty keen on getting the bronze. Getting the bronze on, baby, of the on this little sucker. Now
Little
that'll be
sucker.
this sucker here. Ha! If that was a
Oh,
mountain, it would be a Zuckerberg.
suckerbug.
Now, mm, caffeine, wonderful word. Now, pardon?
I said
How am
coffee.
I? Oh, coffee, mate, dude. Nothing happens in this world without coffee.
I miss
Um,
it. I have a cup every morning.
Look, my bigger concern when it comes to coffee is making sure that there is not too much blood in my caffeine. Um, the It's a dire situation when that sort of behaviour occurs.
Yep.
Um, it's certainly not on my agenda. Now, bronze I'm looking for. Ah, yes. I very sensibly put them all in a box. Who would have thought?
Yeah,
Bronze.
every morning I got to have a cup of orange juice, a vitamin, and a big cup of coffee.
Oh, look, I
My
there was a
routine.
point in time where I shared house with these two guys, and the long and the short of it, while I worked in security, they worked in hospitality.
Ah,
And we had a coffee, like a drippolator sort of a set thing, one of those, which, as you can imagine, was pretty much on a 24/7 operation, apart from when potentially all of us were out. And what could be kind of funny with that? Oh, hey, John, how you doing? Was sometimes we would forget to switch it off,
hello, John.
because of course there were some nights when we were actually all at home and we'd go and crash and assume one of us would turn it off in due course, which wouldn't happen. And you'd wake up the next morning and the coffee experience was nothing short of spectacular.
Yep.
Sometimes it was like tar, blew the back of your head off.
Hmm. I like mine strong now.
This was, yeah. If you wanted to wake up, this was the coffee for you. For flavor, possibly not so much. Um, but hey, what you gonna do?
Yeah, I put me 2 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons. Which one's tablespoons the
Uh,
small one, the teaspoon's the big one, or is it backwards?
Teaspoons of the small ones, mate.
Yeah. Okay. I put 3 teaspoons of creamer in mine and 2.5 sugar. And I douse a pretty good douse of cinnamon. I gotta have cinnamon in my coffee.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting variation. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see
it's
that.
really good.
Um,
My wife actually got me started on that.
I have an actual coffee machine, like a proper, similar to the ones that they use in restaurants, except it's just a domestic
Right.
one. And I'll just go for a straight, I guess would ordinarily be called a long black.
Yeah, I just know I can't. I can't.
And then I'll just have a dash of white, dash of milk, just to soften it up a bit. Because let's face it, coffee, delicious though it is pretty full on black. I find it a bit rumpty. The only time I was ever able to come up black coffee, and even then there was 2 sugars involved, used to be when I was working. You recall that tale I've told you about the party time job I used to have?
Yeah.
Long and the short, on those occasions we would go to the office, shall we say. We would, whilst we were in the office, you'd have an espresso, 2 sugars, double shot. And by the gods, used to come out of that office going hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the pros and cons of working for Calabrians.
Wow.
That's almost Roger Waters' song. You remember how he did pros and cons of hitchhiking?
Ah, the pros and cons of hitchhiking. Enlighten us.
That was mid '80s. These are the pros and cons of hitchhiking. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how I'd fit these are the pros and cons of working for Calabrians into that rhythm, but you get the idea.
Yep.
Yeah, this is coming up nicely. I'll give you a zoom in once I've finished one edge, or one end, as it were. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the colour.
Yeah, it's gonna pop. Snap, crackle, and pop.
Yeah, baby.
So, how did your safari go yesterday?
Well, good and bad.
Uh oh.
Well, here's how it goes. Good. Look, I saw some very cool stuff. Had a good time for the most part of the day I was there. And I was talking to some of the volunteers now. Here's the thing I need to, because of course I'm setting up my business. I'd gotten all my various medical appointments that I still need to maintain, and all other appointments pretty much on the Thursday and Friday. And I'd figured if I worked it out right, that would leave me pretty much 4 days. And ideally a Monday or a Tuesday would be the one I'd use to go up to Monarto and do my thing. And I mentioned that to some volunteers, and they said, "Oh, you can't do Tuesdays. Only long-term volunteers can do that."
Right.
Well, that's a bit of a problem, because if I can't do Tuesdays, that really cuts down my options on what days I can make it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Very much so.
and makes it pretty much nigh on impossible, in fact, because going up there for one day takes me out. And if it's limited to which days I can do it, that's not really practicable.
Nope.
There seemed to be given a bit of a, "Oh, too bad, so sad" response by the other volunteers. There was no actual employee present. So that was a bit of a, that had me going a bit, what the fuck? I wasn't happy. And I said, I was explaining that, well, part of the problem is the time travel I've got. And, oh, where do you come from? My Malins, which is now it's 140 kilometres, about an 80-mile round trip, 85 miles, something like that.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's not a short
Well,
drive.
well, yeah, that's not bad. I mean, 40 miles there back. Okay.
I don't mind that. It's just that it's not a short amount of time to take to do it. And of course, this is why I need to, if I've got spare time to get down from Monarto to town to get other stuff done, that's a bit of a winner. And why I need to time my time to get up there very carefully, yada, yada, yada.
Mm.
The response I got was, I was no further than the rest of us, which is bullshit. I know some of them come from Murray Bridge, which is like 12 kilometres away,
Right.
which is not even 10 miles. Anyway, in the final analysis, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it anymore. I'll be able to go up as a visitor, obviously,
Right.
but I won't be able to do the tour thing anymore. Now, the plus side of that ultimately is that I guess it gives me more time to do stuff.
Oh, true. Yeah. Yeah. With
Um,
your business
the
coming up.
yeah. The downside is I was really looking forward to that. So I was left feeling a bit unhappy and sad, as you can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, that's not really a that's a first world problem. It's not a true issue.
Right. Well.
From the viewpoint of I've still got a roof over my head, I've still got food in my stomach.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's
which is not what everybody in this world has.
This is true.
So in that regard, yeah, again, in reality, minor issue. Just not a happy one. Now, I was talking to someone, they said, well, was it that from a staff member or just from other volunteers? They may just be getting territorial about what their preferred day is, which is true. But I have sent an email to the coordinator saying, look, I'm going to have to, I have to tell them, obviously.
Right.
This is not politeness. So I've sent them an email explaining that, well, I was told that I cannot volunteer on Tuesdays. If that's the case, you may be looking at, I can't do this. This is the
Okay.
reality.
So even the Fridays that you were doing, that's out as well.
Pardon?
You were doing Fridays as well at one time.
I was at one stage, but that was not a good. This is why. There we go. By the way, there's the
Oh yeah.
bronze on that one. Now the car itself will be black.
Yeah, that brown's gonna give it a black.
So yeah, I was, but that was because there were specific training days they had lined up for us. It was not by no means. It was in fact. It was Fridays was actually very inconvenient for me.
Oh.
So in that regard, was going, well, now that we're sort of a bit more free range as far as just, it was up to going to just for training and stuff. I was going, well, great, now I can go early in the week. Tuesday's my ideal day.
Right.
And away we go. And then I found out yesterday, oh no, that can't happen. Now, if it's an actual policy that the coordinator runs, I've got to say that's a bit of a one rule for one for the others, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
And that's not real cool, man.
No, that's not. No.
And if, on the other hand, it's a bunch of volunteers being territorial and cliquey, if you know what I mean by cliquey.
Yeah, yeah. And they are ones that will do that.
There are. But if that's the case, in that case, I may well be advised to dodge the bullet.
Yeah, yeah. because that's kind of sad when people like that do get together and push other ones out.
Yeah.
To have their own little clique.
Well, that's what well, it's either it's a, as I said, one rule for one, one for the other situation, which I don't roll with
Yeah,
ever.
no, absolutely not. Nope.
Or it's a clicky thing.
Yeah,
Neither of these are good looks.
no, they're not. I wouldn't want to be part of it.
No, so I think
Yeah.
I've just
You've
I
done the
just
right thing.
casually, yeah, I look after myself.
Yeah, you've done the right thing.
How's best woman's dad?
Oh, he's doing really well. He's found out he's got blood cancer,
Ooh,
and they have just recently discovered it here within the last 6 months or so, and they give him anywhere from between 5 to 15 years with medication, and he's has to take a shot once a week. And of course, his insurance company's being an ass about getting the real medicine that he needs, and they're having to go a little cheaper brand.
yeah, yeah, of course, because yeah, you guys, it's a lot of if unless you've got the money to pay for they can get
Yeah,
real expensive. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah. Most people, yeah, no, that's an expensive thing. And how
yeah,
do you pay? Why do you pay insurance if they're going to fuck you like that?
yep,
Yeah, my wife, she was very distraught about that, and of course they were as well. But the insurance is going to help with the cheaper one where they can, get what they need.
well, if that'll get the job done and enable him to have a decent quality of life, however long it meant before it takes care of business, so to speak, which hopefully will be the 15 years and could be longer.
Yeah, it could be. You're absolutely right. And you're what is Benny? 67 now? Yeah, yeah. He's
There
60.
you go. So he could live to be quite a healthy old age.
Yep, yep. They were they were just asking about your daddy. Yeah. She said thank you. She appreciates that. She was running a little
Yeah.
bit late. She just come in the door here a few minutes ago.
Oh, but yeah, I'd say, particularly with the joys of modern medicine.
Yeah. He had a
Uh,
pacemaker in about 5 years ago, and
wow.
he didn't have it then. They I hope would have found it if he had it back then, but apparently he didn't. And it doesn't really
Oh,
matter how you live. I've heard of people that has smoked cigars all their life. And
yep.
matter of fact, didn't you? Who'd you say you knew that smoked like cigars or something? Lived to be 80 some odd
My
years old.
grandmother,
That's right.
by the time she died, she started smoking when she was 14.
Mm.
Back in the day when smoking was a sophisticated and you know an elegant thing. And indeed, I believe back in the era when it was even recommended by doctors.
Hell, the doctors even smoked back then. You go into the doctor's office, there'd be ashtrays in
Oh,
there.
they recommended it as good health practice, um, which is I don't know quite what adjective to employ for that one, but you've got to be going, what the devil? But that's also bearing in mind what we know now. Um, to be fair, and yeah, by the time she died, she would have been going through, I'd say, close to 4 packs a day.
Wow.
Um, like she was at the level where she would literally be able, say, her lighter ran out and she didn't have one. This was not a problem to my nan. No, no, no. All you had to do was light one cigarette off the next one.
Yep, chain smoking.
Yeah,
I've been
literally.
good at that in the past years.
And she lived to be 87. However, um, it cost her dearly because it cost her both her mobility because not enough blood flow could get to her legs, and ultimately her marbles. She wasn't getting enough blood flow to the brain, and she got dementia as a result.
Yeah.
And I'm told that at least for an initial part of the process, she was aware of it. And all you can
Oh,
really say
really?
to that is that's pretty brutal.
Yeah, that is.
It wouldn't be so bad if it was just suddenly one day automatically see you later. There would probably be less of a thing, but she was actually aware of it.
All right. I remember back in the day when I don't know, I was 17, 18, working in a grocery store, IGA. Every
Yep.
morning we had to go around and dump all the ashtrays. Go ahead, ashtrays on all the aisles where customers want,
Oh,
smoking. They'd have somewhere to put
yeah.
their cigarette out in.
Yeah, well, here's a tale. I actually credit my grandmother because I've never really been a cigarette smoker ever.
That's good.
And a large part of that I would attribute to my grandmother because once I was quite young, can't remember how young, but they offered me $100 to clean their walls in my nan's part of the house.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and I got a bucket of water and some soap and I wiped. Mm.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
The difference was, frankly, sickening,
Yes.
is the adjective I'm looking to bandy about here. Um, it, yeah, I could see there was blue paint underneath this brown, mottled. Um,
Yellow, that yellowish brownish, yeah.
yeah, it was quite hideous, and the oh looky this Robster, look at you go. Sorry, and I think that sort of made a pretty major impression on myself
I can see that.
as to this is yucky.
Yep. Imagine what they're doing to the inside parts.
Well, that's it now, isn't it?
But fortunately, lungs are very resilient. They they heal up pretty quick.
I the guy who was the give me a moment. There we go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that brown's gonna be cool, man, with the black.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, on there.
Moving right along.
Yeah, it's coming
You're ready to
together.
have black here pretty soon.
Well, today I'm going to go to the hobby shop and see if I can get a uh, spray on jet black
Ah.
because that's the color I want for the main coat. And if I
Yeah, I'm
can
sure.
get that, it won't cost much. That would be the easiest way to get this done, I would
Yeah,
suggest.
black's always one of your cheaper paints
I'm
for the art.
becoming a fan of them, you know. I really am. I'm seeing what we bald men call immense practicality.
Well, mine's actually starting to thin on top a little bit, and I'm not very happy about that. But I've always had a luscious locks of hair.
Oh, mate, I got ripped harshly when I was young. Um, I think, have I told you the tale of woe? A
No,
tale of woe it is. I first started losing my hair when I was 16.
really.
Yeah, mate.
I'm sorry.
Now, oh, yeah, so was I. Uh, Now the thing about that, as has been, this is about the only consolation I could conceivably draw from it, was it was pointed out to me that in some instances it is a sign of high levels of testosterone.
I have heard that. Yep.
And it's not always the case, but somebody did point out, dude, you're over 6 feet tall and you naturally come in at well over 200 pounds. Even lean, you're well over 200 pounds. Do you think there might be a connecting dot here? And all I can think is, maybe. But ultimately, I started losing hair at 16. By the time I was 18, if I had my hair gelled up, you could see my scalp.
Wow.
By the time I was 21, I had started growing my hair out long down to the shoulders in a desperate attempt to hide the fact that I was losing hair. And by the time I was 23, one of my sisters approached me and said, you need to stop fooling yourself. Here's a razor.
Just accept it, huh?
Pretty much. Now, she actually did shave it for me. And what we actually did was she said, look, I understand you're not going to be happy about losing your hair. How's about we leave you with that nice long hair with a ponytail, or with a rat's tail, but a nice thick one? I thought that sounds pretty cool. And I thought I looked pretty sharp with it. Had it plaited sometimes. Anyway, the amusing part kicks in a bit down the track when I was sharing house with this dude who worked at the sports centre where I used to go and pump a lot of iron. And that's looking very nice, mate.
Thanks, sir.
And he's chirped out with, mate, I can give you, or there's basically a legion of women who would be all over you, but you got to lose that ponytail. It makes you look like a psycho. What?
Y'all ever do the rat tail?
Yeah. Shaven head with rat tail. And in Australia, we call it the power mullet.
The power mullet?
Yeah, if you got a really short.
Oh, dropped out.
Here, if you've got like really short hair on top and long hair down the back, that's called a mullet.
Yep. Business in the front, party in the back.
Boom. And
yeah, I had that at one time myself.
And because I got a shaven head with the rat's tail, it was regarded as a bit of a power mullet. Because that was the next level again, sort of a deal. Anyway, but yeah, as soon as I got hit with the statement that you could have women all over you, just lose the rat's tail, you better believe the razor came out.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, back in the early 80s, mid 90s, we had the long hair in the back, and we would perm the back of it to make it curly and wavy. Yep.
Yeah, I have very fine hair, fine straight hair.
Yeah, mine's pretty fine as well.
The one thing I do say, however, because my entire family, and I was, are blonde.
Oh, really?
And Yeah, we're all fair-haired and blue-eyed. Um, um, I remember one of my nephew's girlfriends, because pretty much, like I said, the entire lot of us, with the exception of one who is half Maltese, but the rest of us, again, universally fair-haired, blue-eyed, tall. I'm the most heavily set of the lot, but generally a healthy sort of a build with that. And the comment was, it's like going to a Scandinavian convention. We're actually English, but yeah. Anyway, but yeah, we're all fair-haired, blue-eyed. And I don't know if you got the blonde jokes in the US years ago, um, basically inferring that blondes were stupid. Um, and the big line I used to come out with is, I gained 20 IQ points when I lost my hair. That was my theory. My family disagreed.
So if a blonde and a brunette jumped out of a window, who would hit the ground first?
Here we go. Give me a moment. Let me see if I can remember I might even be able to remember the answer.
No, I
Um,
just
I'm thinking the brunette, because the blonde's so airheaded she'd float.
that, or she stopped and asked for directions on the way down.
That's the one, yeah. My favourite blonde joke goes for a while. It's there's this hairdresser, and he's at work one day, and this blonde chick walks in with a headset on, and asks, tells him what she wants. She sits in the chair, and he goes to take the headset off. She says, "Oh, you can't take them off. I'll die." He said, "Look, madam, you won't die if I remove the headset. I'll die." And so he works out the way that he can work around it, and he does, and da 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 da. Anyway, so he gets the job done that day and just leaves it be. Doesn't let it bother him. Week passes. Same woman comes in, headset on, goes to remove it. Sure enough, "I'll die." He goes, "Fuck's sake." Tries to reason with her, but that again, fruitless.
No.
And so again, he works around it and gets the job done. Week passes. Sure enough, in she comes, headset on, and he goes to remove it, gets the obligatory "I'll die," and he just loses his shit this time. "Look, you're a grown woman. Wake up to yourself. You will not die if I remove the headsets, for God's sake." Rips them off. And then while he starts getting ready to do the work on the hair, she starts getting short of breath, and that goes blue, then green, then keels over and dies. He's gone, fuck me. What have I done? I wonder what was on the headset. And he picks it up and listens, and it's going, "Breathe in, breathe out."
Damn it, man. Damn. Wow. Well, got a gasp from my wife on that one. Damn. Yeah, there's a lot of them jokes.
Oh, there was. They sort of replaced the Irish jokes for a while. Although my favourite Irish joke is
Yeah,
there's this.
I've never heard of the Irish jokes. Tell us some.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't actually. No.
Okay, over here in Australia, and I would say by extension, in fact, I know by extension in the UK, they're quite the thing. I would liken them, in fact, a pretty good example for you in the US. I believe the Poles cop a fair bit of stick for not necessarily the brightest globes in the bunch in one way or another. Um,
Well, like
so
Pollock.
consider, so if I'm correct in the belief that there are indeed Polish jokes,
Oh yeah.
in the same vein we have Irish jokes,
Okay. I got you.
and yeah, there's a Irish guy who's been caught up in all the hubbub of the French Revolution. And the rule with execution, generally, as you're probably aware, is that if you somehow miraculously survive, you're free to go. And anyway, there's two people in front of him, and the first guy goes up and puts his head on the block. The guillotine's pulled, and it slides down, but stops halfway down. The guy's alive. He is free to go. Hasta la vista, off he goes. And the second guy goes up. Before they've done that, they've had a bit of a look at the guillotine in question. Reckon they've got it going on. He puts his head on the block. Blade comes down. Tuck, stuck at the halfway point. This is not good. Two people have not now walked away free, but these are the laws, and so off he goes. And then the Irish guy, these guys have had a look at it, and whilst they're pondering on it, the Irish guy chirps out with, "Now, I think I can see your problem there." So yeah,
Oh
he wants to make sure they've got it right for him.
damn.
Here we go. This will look good when I show. Well, it'll look rough as guts because I haven't been that careful with it once it's all done. But it's going to look good in the final analysis, I would suggest.
Yeah, I made that joke the other day about how do you drive a Pollock crazy?
Here we go. Go on.
Put them in a round room and tell them to piss in the corner.
That's there's another one you can do is the one of again, pick your culture, basically, that you're choosing to slag off on for the lack of intellect is what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
So how do you confuse one? Show him 3 shovels and ask him to take his pick.
Oh.
Ah.
Show them 3 shovels, tell them to take a pick. A Pollock.
Actually, on the topic of tools, tell you which one I am a fan of: the Matic. I'm actually quite genuinely a fan of it as a tool.
A Matic.
Yeah, mate.
Okay, I'm gonna be ignorant. What the hell is a Matic?
It's a digging implement with a broad blade at the front and like a white one. There's two blades. There's one that sort of goes that way. There's another one that sort of comes out more, so almost tomahawk sort of an angle at the back.
Okay.
And you can do all manner of pretty chunky digging with them. Now, the reason I particularly like them is because, in the same way that, or it goes more like, actually, a better way of going this is most handheld weaponry is based on farm implements. Hence,
I
if you
see
look
that.
at if you look at a sword, it's just a long knife. If you look at a trident, nothing more than a pitchfork, really.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A staff is just a stick. So it goes. Now, in the same way that there was a thing called a warhammer, which was basically, of course, a slightly upgraded hammer suited for battle purposes,
Yep.
there was such a thing as a warmatic.
Huh.
Yeah. And I'm here to tell you that would fuck your shit up. And to me, that's so cool.
Yeah. I
Um,
agree with that. 100%.
I remember once I was working at with a Matic, and as I looked at it, I realised and proceeded to do because it behooved me that you could actually do the same patterns with your Matic as you would with nunchucks.
With nunchucks?
Yeah, yeah. What you had to do was use the handle as your gripping points. You could
Yeah.
slide up with the blade there, down with the blade there. It was all there to be done. It was all exactly the same theory, so long as you use the handle as the keep the stick shape in the same way as you would with nunchucks.
Hmm. Yeah, me and my brother, we used to mess with nunchucks all the time. When we first started
And
learning how to use them, man, you talking about having a bruised elbows?
mhm. Well, yeah, it's you see the thing is once you learn how to use just a simple staff of any sort, all weapons are the same. And here we go. We're starting to get some progress now. So yeah, it probably looks better from that range. Anyway,
Yeah, it's like our son. He's always been fascinated with Japanese culture, and he's got several actual katanas, and he's really good using one.
I'll tell you something interesting about, or that involves katanas, in as much as it's a samurai thing.
Yeah.
Um, Apparently, because I used to teach a guy who had done kendo, and it's considered very poor form once you have committed to a strike to try and pull out of it at all.
Yeah, I can see that. Yep. Yeah,
Because
you
to
got to
them, once
follow
you've
through.
committed,
No, you
you
got to
must
follow
go
through.
follow through.
Yep, you got to
And if
follow
you have
through.
made the and if you have made the error, that's entirely your issue. But
That's
you got to
exactly
say,
right.
um, yeah, that's how it's done.
Yep.
And apparently, that is why you ever heard of Miyamoto Musashi?
No,
He wrote a book. Ever heard of a book called The Book of Five Rings?
that sounds familiar.
It's widely regarded. It's the pretty much the Japanese equivalent of the Art of War. Um, Basically, it's a well-known book of strategy, and the thing about Musashi, because he was what's called a Ronin, which is to say, after the shogunate got established, there's a fair few samurai who pretty much didn't have a daimyo, and they were still regarded in pretty highly, and could pretty much get whatever they wanted. And they used to go around having death duels, as you do. And he had 68 death duels without loss. And you got to say with that's against trained opposition, not just some dude who's shooting his mouth off. And one of the things he was viewed by a lot of his contemporaries very poorly, largely because he didn't play by their rules. If he thought where the typical samurai strategy was one katana, there you have it. Musashi fought dirty and would generally go one each hand. Katana in one. What we call the katana was once called a tashi, and the katana was actually the short of the three blades you see the samurai with.
Yeah, they carried two. They carried a shorter one and a longer one.
Oh no, and another one again, but that's purely for ritual suicide.
Yeah,
As you do. But he would have the longer one and the shorter one in each hand. This was considered most dirty of its own. He would also do to all the other samurai, traditional ones, or those who follow that sort of mindset still. A person like themselves should be well tidied and all the rest of it. Musashi reputedly on one occasion went something like 5 years without actually bathing because he didn't want to be caught off guard.
Really?
This is the story, yeah. So you can see the guy was a little bit out there, to say the least. You got to start wondering, autism? Who knows, you know? But the at the end of the day, he can't remember how we got onto this, but yeah, he would do things that would throw other samurai off. Like there was one guy who challenged him. The guy in question was known as being very traditional. He would always be punctual, which is also part of just general manners, but that was a very big thing when it came to duels. And he was known for using a particularly long blade. And what happened was Musashi did two things that pretty much had him owning the guy before the battle had even started. One, he made sure he was late. He knew enough about the guy to know he would be absolutely pissed when the fact that Musashi would keep him waiting. And so Musashi made damn sure he did. While he was, and the story goes that while he was being rowed out to the island, where the duel was to take place, he got himself an oar and carved out a bokken, which is like a wooden katana, more of a practice blade.
Yeah, bokens, yeah.
That was longer than this guy's katana.
That's actually what we got started with. We got wooden bokens, and me and Devin got in the yard, and oh man, you hit your damn fingers or wrists with them damn things.
With the bokken.
Oh my god!
they're quite a deadly weapon in their own right. Don't
They
have
are.
any illusions.
They are.
And we basically crafted a bokken that was longer than the guy's katana. So he's rocked up. The guy's got steam coming out of his ears. And of course, as the saying goes, don't fight angry. You lose your shit. And he did.
Oh, absolutely. Let's throw you off your game.
Yep. And Musashi Ju took full toll. And collapsed his skull with the bokken. And you got to say, completely outthought the guy from Godaway.
Yeah, I mean, hell, that's about like with anything. I mean, you go in pissed off, you're not going to be at your best.
Nope. These are facts. Whilst it's a movie I haven't seen, the best case of don't whatever angry I think I saw was actually on an ad for Groundhog Day. And I haven't seen the movie, as I said, but the scene's got Bill Murray.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, my God, that's a good movie. Groundhog Day.
Hunting down something whilst this groundhog is basically driving his vehicle. The groundhog's losing its shit in some capacity, and the line is, don't drive angry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Bill Murray did some good ones in his time. I mean, he's still alive, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
So he still may.
Yeah, I think he just recently, well, he was in Ghostbusters, the female Ghostbusters. Bill Murray.
Yeah. Oh, he was in the female one, wasn't he?
I think that was the last one he's been in, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't think he made any more after that one. And he actually got killed pretty early into the movie. So,
well, that's so you got however much you got paid, it was a pretty quick payday.
yeah, it's kind of sad that right there in within the first 30 minutes of the movie, he dies. The women Ghostbuster opened up the thing and let a ghost out, and he threw him out of a window.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a Sean Bean, the actor. He played Boromir in Lord of the Rings. He does a lot of stuff. He was in Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
He played Ned Stark.
Oh yeah, him. Yeah.
I was unaware that he pretty much in almost every role he plays, he gets killed.
Yeah. Yep.
And be a good guy or a villain, ultimately he ends up getting killed. And I'd only just shortly found that out when I saw this thing on Facebook that I at least understood because I'd found that out. And it was a picture of Sean Bean as Ned Stark sitting on the Iron Throne. And the caption was, a Sean Bean dies every 2.5 years. You can help stop the slaughter.
Damn. That's pretty good. We actually want to watch the series Game of Thrones, the movie and the series, but my son he don't want to watch it. Our son don't want to watch it with us because he says mostly a lot of sex in it.
There is. The bigger thing I found with Game of Thrones, as a personal opinion, and in fact, I'm not alone in this opinion. I know that the first 6 seasons are good. Season 7 and 8, Houston,
Oh, yeah.
we have a problem. And what the issue is that the first 6 series are actually based on books that were actually fully written. Season 7 and 8 were based on some concepts that the writer of the first 6 books had and shared with the script writers, who, I gotta say, couldn't write their way out of a wet paper bag.
Seriously.
And yeah, they delivered 2 seasons after 6 great seasons. And some of it was quite riveting stuff. Um, yes, he was the villain in a Bond film. David's just made mention that Sean Bean was a villain in a Bond flick. Can't remember which one, but it doesn't matter. Either way. But yeah, after 6 seasons of stuff that was mostly good and riveting, after that, you get 2 seasons of plot holes.
Damn. I love movies like that.
And it was very disappointing, actually. Um,
Why'd you tell me that?
Now, that said, you might watch it and think it's the bee's knees.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, to each their own, you know.
Yeah,
I'm glad you like me on that.
but
On
yeah,
that.
that was. I know that certainly the finale upset a lot of regular viewers, some of whom were complete dicks about it. In terms of get this one, long as I'll spare you all the details, but the finale was considered controversial, and so much so that some viewers, big fans obviously, wanted a rewrite and wanted it reshot so it could be re-released.
Really?
Yep. I believe the response of one of the actors in question was "fuck off," and you got to say, fair response, because I mean, really now, um, it's done and dusted. Once it's done, the time to do that behaviour would be when it was still on the editing floor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there are some bits out of the first 6 seasons, and to be fair, look, season 7 and 8 aren't complete shit, but then there are some things that you look at and go, well, no, boys, what are you doing? But that's again subjective.
Hmm.
Um, but
Yeah, even like with Rotten Tomatoes, how they score movies and how they criticize them and stuff. I've seen movies that they've like gave 47%, and to me, it was a damn home run movie. I can't name one
there
right off
you
the top of
go.
my head, but yeah,
Yeah, well, that's exactly the thing, isn't it?
yeah,
It's purely an opinion, and when you're talking about stuff that is subjective, you really can't be making absolute statements on that because that's just, well, not how it happens. Um, it's a curious thing. In society, we get a lot of messaging as to what is and isn't beautiful or acceptable, or that sort of caper on a visual basis.
oh yeah,
But in truth, it's a load of shit because, okay, look, there are some people who you look at and there's a universal imperative of, oh dear God, they're hot. But at the same time, I've seen a chick and just gone, oh, and had a mate say, really? Way too skinny. All I want to put in that's a meal. Yeah.
hell, I got to remember that one. That was good.
And Because I mean, in his eyes,
That was good.
because he's all about. Indeed, he straight up fesses up to that. He's entirely comfortable with the notion of being known as a preferrer of the larger lady. As he says, the last thing I want is a woman who can outrun me. Um,
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
clear-cut case of evidence. There's the case in point.
Oh, damn.
Some of the chicks he'd go for, I'm going, nah, man, you can have them.
Oh,
Subjective.
absolutely. Yeah. You know, an actress that a lot of people think is really hot, but I've never seen where, why, or how.
Who's that?
Brooke Shields.
Uh I guess she's got that sort of girl next door sort of look thing going on,
She ain't got
but
that.
she's kind of plain. Don't get me wrong, she's definitely not unattractive, but yeah, I wouldn't give her big raps.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. At risk of sounding crass. Would I decline the opportunity, as it were? Certainly not.
Mm.
Um, but she, as a physical type, if we're going to go for a straight physical appraisal here, she doesn't tick that many of my winning boxes, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We've all got well, some of us have a few types. I'm a little bit more of an equal opportunities employer than some. Um, I will shag regardless of race, color, or creed. Um,
Blind crips are crazy.
I and if you're going to go down that path, you need to be open to a fairly wide range of different body types as well. And I am.
Oh, yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I,
That's,
I am the gift that keeps giving. And
that'd be my saying. Blind cripple crazy. I don't care.
yeah. Now I do have some personal standards, but they're purely my takes on what I think is attractive, not what everybody else does.
Yep.
Um, yes, there are some women who I've looked at and gone, no, there is no way known this is going to happen. Um, and I've even encountered some who are simply too stupid to consider having sex with because talking to them was physically painful.
Yeah.
And look, seriously, some of them were stunning, but the pain was real. It's almost like if you feel like saying, look, you clearly got into the line for the good looks department at least 2, 3, maybe 4 times. You should have gone at least once to brains.
Well, I guess it could be also is what you're going after at the time as well.
Well, that is true. That is true. Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's okay if they say, "Am I supposed to put that in there?" Yes, you are.
Yeah, that's the one. Oh dear. Uh,
You're supposed to swallow that. They're all doing it.
oh dear. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit like here's a line of thought for you. You hear about the stereotypical suicide bomber who gets promised 40 virgins in heaven or however many it is supposed to be. And you
Yeah.
know what, man? That would simply not get me to do the job. Do you want to go with 40 instances of, do you really care? Will you call me tomorrow? Is it? No! Now, if I was promised 40 women who know what they want and will make you do it, Now
Yeah.
we might have a transaction.
Yeah, then we can talk.
Yeah.
Yep. Phew.
All right. Now, doing all right. I don't know if
What
I'll
you
get the front end done yet, but
up? Nah.
yes.
The wife's up here rolling, saying they're going to ban y'all. Oh,
Dearie me. uh,
Beefy darling.
I'm starting to wonder if I should put some sort of rating on my live streams.
uh,
This live stream may contain adult themes,
hmm.
all sorts of references.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Yeah.
Now, what's the time? I've still got a bit of time going. Listen, I don't think I'm going to get the grill done today,
I was going to
but
ask you what you got going on today.
I've got swimming at 10. I'm actually rather looking forward to that because last time I made some good progress on my backstroke, and I wouldn't mind doing some more work on that this week. My main stroke's the freestyle.
How
Because
are
that's
you
like,
at floating?
oh, that's the easy part. Although one other thing here's something that's funny. Of it because there's a thing where depending on how much muscle you've got in your on your frame relative to fat, you will naturally sit lower in the water.
This is
And
true.
the,
This
yeah,
is true.
and the way you're going to
Buoyancy.
get
Yep.
is to move faster. And I found myself I could do most of the swimming basically, but I was slowly sinking. And last week, because we actually had two teachers last week, and the first one said, "Just kick your legs faster." And
Well,
lo, and lo, I floated.
uh,
But the other thing was that I had with the backstroke, I've been practicing doing the kick, just using my kicks on the back and getting the arms right because I'm a fan of getting technique broken down before going the whole box and dice. And last week, for the first time, I gave it a whirl, and sort of, but ultimately, it's only from sort ofs that you get the whole thing done, really.
right.
But with practice, obviously, I'll get better. So I'm pretty
Absolutely.
keen
That's everything.
to give that a bit of a crack today.
I've learned with floating that you take slow, deep breaths. It'll help keep you more buoyancy
Okay,
too. That's how I taught our son to float.
okay. What I can do pretty easily, there's a thing that they like you to know. You might even know what I'm talking about. And the term they use for it is survival stroke, where basically you just go onto your back and Make sure you stay afloat and slowly make your way along. And you can do it for hours. Not
Yeah.
much arm movement. And
Yeah.
I can do that. But what I call that stroke rather than survival stroke is great white shark stroke. And the reason I call it that is because, mate, yeah, if I was in a boat that went over in the Gulf, yeah, I could probably do that. And that would last just as long as it took for a great white to have a look and go, I want to eat that.
Well, we used to see how many times we go around the pool on our back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And doing the doggy paddle.
Do what?
The doggy paddle?
Oh, yeah. There's a thing that you do with the, I did for a little while to help get my technique on the hands right for freestyle called long dog paddle. And it's more
Long
about
doggy paddle.
getting the idea of getting your arms to stretch out. But the thing I've sort of worked out as far as getting, or that works better for my mindset, is just understanding to stretch out. Like there's a type of monkey called a gibbon,
Yeah.
and they're amazing animals to watch swing from tree to tree because they're. Oh, hey Jeff, how you doing? Because they'll actually just hang from an arm,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and what they'll do is pretty much be at full stretch on that arm, and the rest of their body's relaxed. And in many ways, of course, that's what you've got to do when you swim.
Huh.
So to me, when I'm trying to do the freestyle, what I try to remember is the funky gibbon.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Oops. All right. Almost there. Certainly on the it probably doesn't matter so much if I don't get the grill done today, because of course ultimately that doesn't need to be painted. Well, not black anyway.
Okay, you're done around your windows and all with the bronze.
Yeah,
That's gonna look really good.
it's more of a consistency thing in terms of if you have all these sort of different chrome, bronze, chrome, bronze. Now there is a certain point to which I want to do that on the front end here, but that's more going to be for the bar across to the
Yep.
very edge. Most of that will still be bronze. Just again, consistency. But now there is one other color I actually want to get onto this. Very easy to do though, it won't take long at all. Depending on uh yeah, I would say David remembers the Funky Gibbon. The Funky Gibbon was a song done by the, as you'd probably be unaware, was a song done by an outfit called the Goodies, a British comedy trio.
Yeah, no.
Ah, yes. Do, the Funky Gibbon. The Funky Gibbon. So later on today, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be doing the Funky Gibbon.
kind of like the do the funky chicken, right? Do the funky lady, not the funky lady, not the chicken, the funky lady. Do the funky lady. Do
I
something.
used to see do when I was bouncing at
Dude looks like a lady. Oh my god.
apparently
Yeah, that's from
they
Mr.
came up with that song.
Like a lady.
Apparently they came up with that song with reference to, I think it may have been Vince Neil or one of the members of Motley Crue. And when they saw him from behind at the bar, they actually started eyeing him off, sort of a deal, until you turned around and went, "Dear God."
Yeah.
And that was how they came up with the song.
Yeah. Dude looks like a lady.
And and here's one for you, mate. When I used to bounce at a gay bar, yeah, there were some dudes who certainly tried to look like ladies.
Yep.
Pretty good at it too, I'm sure.
That's one that said they were pretty good at it too.
Some
Sure.
are. Now, the ones who are a bit taller than me and were kind of unshaven, not so much.
And with the added,
But here's a funny tale for you. I actually had to be warned off one once because I was unaware. I'd gone down there with some friends
Rough.
because I knew people who hung out there sort of like socially. And basically, long and the short of where most of the security staff were there because they, well, were friends with some people. They did need people who could take care of business, and that was going to be me. And anyway, I'm down there doing the meet and greet, and I see this smoking hot chick. She's on the dance floor, grooving and pumping and eyeing me off. And I'm going, oh yeah, here we go. And this chick was so overt that one of the guys I was down there with said, "Mate, are you noticing this?" Yes, I am. Let me just finish my drink, and I'm going to go over and make the play. Now, fortunately for me, another guy came over at the time and said, "Oh, who are we talking about, fellas?" And said, "Woman out." I said, "Yeah, she's impressive, lads. She's very impressive. There's something you need to know." Yeah, what's that? It's a bloke. No, it's a bloke. And once I actually started working down there, I became aware that it was actually one of the better known trannies who went by the name of Sian. And look, it's just as well I was warned off because I have heard a horror tale as well of one gentleman who knowingly went there, and he knew what he was getting in for, so to speak. There was no surprise; it was all on the table. And
I thought you were going to say you run your hand down there and run up on a dick bigger than yours.
No. This guy picked her up and from a hetero bar, but he knew what the drill was, so he was all quite comfortable with that. And long and the short of it was that they had done their thing, and Sian had clearly delivered the oral favors to this guy and wanted them returned. And bear in mind, we're talking pre-op. And the guy apparently wasn't so keen, and Sian wasn't taking no for an answer.
Mm.
Now, you got to say, mate, you've already fucked a man. Don't kid yourself. You might as well as go there.
Yeah, I mean.
But also, Sian, dear, yes, women do get gone down on. They don't get their dicks sucked, right? These are things. Now, what I've done today is the hull set up for our main coats. Now, I've also done a line of flat black there. That's very standard on most Volvos. So I've left that there. That's like a protectant from mucky muck splashing up. But yeah, we've now got all the bronze on. You'll see there's some parts of that I've left chrome. That's just for the lights.
Yeah.
So after swimming, I will probably see what I can get in the spray can variety of paints.
Okay, cool deal.
Now, as for yourself, good sir, there we go.
Working on a 57 Chevy Bel Air. I've done all the chrome down the sides, painted the white on the side there.
Nice. That's looking very pretty.
Done the chrome around the windows. Yes, looking gonna be pretty sharp. This is actually a snap together. I was not aware of that when I purchased it. So that's why the hood doesn't come off and it's like but yeah, it's gonna be pretty as you say, swish when I get it completed. Because it was originally completely black.
Nice.
But that's what I've done. Sit here and comb this out.
All righty. Well, that is us done for today, I believe. All righty. Well, now tomorrow is Thursday. Ooh, I don't have to go anywhere.
Yay.
Yeah.
We can play longer.
Oh, wait a minute. I do, but that no, I don't. Wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
All righty. Thanks everyone for watching. We certainly appreciate it. Now, first time viewers, you know the drill here. Follow, like, or subscribe. There's a magic button. Yes, do that, by golly.
We can all have fun together.
I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube, and Robster the Builder on Instagram and Twitch. And follow, like, or subscribe. Thanks, Dave. Glad you enjoyed it.
Thanks, Dave.
Ultimately, that leaves me to tomorrow, and we all know the drill here. That I'm going to be back at again. Our pleasure, David. We're going to be back same kit time, same kit channel. Hopefully, we'll catch you good people then. See yous.
See you, bye.